Okay, here we are at our job setup. We are going to set up our material size, height, and thickness. Here is our material work surface. So our work surface is 16 inches by 6 inches by 0.375 or 3/8. If you want to use your 3/8, you put in 3 divided by 8, hit the equal sign, and it gives you the decimal equivalent. We are working from the material surface. Our datum point is in the lower left-hand corner. We say, okay, we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to do is design our coaster. Well, we could do a very simple coaster. Come up here and draw a rectangle. Let's make it a radius rectangle and hit create. Okay, we have a nice looking rectangle here, so we can set there and bring this over to where we want it. Put it on the center line. Okay, it's a nice rectangle. You know, it'd make a nice coaster, so we can put our depression in for the cup. Now, standard cups are around 3 1/4 inches. So we're going to make our diameter 3 1/4. Come over here, it brought it over, say close, and we can bring it over and again put it in here. And is that where I want it to be? There's a couple different ways you can do this. Highlight the outside, then highlight the inside, and we can set there and say align it to each other. It makes it perfectly in the center. But you know, that's kind of boring. And you know, we could go to something a little different. We could make our own. We could start out with a little oval here. And you know, let's kind of make the oval like this size. And we're just arbitrarily doing stuff here. Okay, and let's say it needs a little square condentation to it too. So let's put a square in here. That looks kind of pretty cool. And we'll close that. Okay, we got this square and we got this circle, but I don't need all this stuff in here, so how do I get rid of that? What you do is come over here and you combine the two together. You have to highlight them, and then you can combine them together. And now we get kind of a cool looking thing. Put a circle in it like we did before. And cool. Put it kind of in the middle here. That looks pretty good. I'm still not thrilled about that one. Maybe I want to do something a little different. Well, you can go to clip art and come to clip art. There's a thing that's called 2D vectors, and there's hundreds of different vectors. Or you can go out on the net and choose your own vector. Well, let's choose one from here. I like the heart design. So let's drag this over. As you can see, it comes out huge, but that's okay. That's what the handles are for. Put it in here. That looks pretty good right there. And we need something for our depression. So let's go back to our circle and create another circle. Well, that circle's a little bit big for this. And quite honestly, I don't like the look of the circle in there anyhow. So let's get rid of that. And what else could we do? Oh, you know what we could do is we could offset this. So come to offset. Let's offset it in 3/8 of an inch inward. Pick what we want to offset from. Oh, that's pretty cool. I kind of like that. So I'd like to put a phrase or a saying, or you could even put a logo in here. So let's say you want to put a logo, and what I'm going to use is another clip art as my logo. And let's say the logo of my business is a house. So I could sit here and put a house in here. This is my logo. That's my logo. And I'll put a name in there too. So got to come back to drawing and go to text. And first of all, we'll put a name in these two here. We're going to put in there love my furniture, because that's kind of what you use a coaster for anyhow. So I want it 1/2 inch in the center. I like Arial black, so I'll say love my furniture. Okay? Apply that. And it's going to come here. Here's love my furniture right here. And I can drag it over to here. Well, that's a little bit big. So let's scale it down just a tad. Oh, that looks pretty good. I like that. It looks pretty good right there. Copy it. We can put it in this other one too. Kind of like it right, a little bit down more. I like it there. Let's say in here I want to put in something else. So I'm going to put in here home home workers. Apply, close. Here's home workers right here. And we can shrink it down. And we'll put it in here. That's our logo. So, love my furniture. Let's copy that. Paste it so we can put it back over here where we had it before. All right, go. Now what we're ready to do is do our tool paths. So our tool paths, we got basically 3 tool paths. We got a profile, a pocket, and our logo and or writing, which is a V-carve. So the first thing I'm going to do is profiles. So I want to highlight all my profiles. And cut depth, I'm going to make I'm doing pockets. Okay, we're going to do pockets. Highlight all of our pockets. Now, the start depth for the pocket is 0, 0. We're going to go a cut depth of 1/4 inch. We're going to use a 1/4 inch ball nose, and we're going to hit calculate. Okay, we can preview that. Looks pretty cool. Go back, and we're going to do the profiles next. So what I'm going to do is pick profiles, my profile tool pathing, hit all my profiles. Start depth is 0. We're going to go to 376 because we want to make sure we go all the way through. We're going to go on the outside, and we're going to add tabs. So we're going to add 3 tabs to this so we can hold things together while we're working on it. Added the tabs, go ahead and calculate. It says, hey, dummy, you're going to go through. We already know that. So go ahead and preview that. And there's our profiles. Now, close that. The next thing we can do is the V-carve. And what we're going to do is highlight all of our V-carve situations. Now, the start depth of my V-carve is going to be 1/4 inch. And the reason being is why do I want to cut air? I already know that this pocket is 1/4 inch deep. So my start depth, I'm going to make it 1/4 inch. I'm also going to make a flat depth of 60 thousandths. The reason for that is that sometimes in V-carve, depending on the letters or whatever, it may go really, really deep, and I don't want it to go through, so I'm going to just sit there and limit it at 60 thousandths. We're going to use a 60-degree V-bit, and we're ready to calculate that. It's already calculated. We can preview it. Voila. This is what we got. Now, on this home workers one, we could work on this a little bit. As far as this here, as we could do that as a clean out, but for right now, it's okay. Now, another thing that I always do is I go in and I go 1 pocket, coaster, pocket 1. And the reason I put this 1 on there is that if you have something with a pendant, a lot of the times it won't show the whole file name. So if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, I do know what order that they're going to go into. So what I can do is go in here, call this number 2 coaster profile, and then the last one is the V-carve. I put 3 coaster profile, or V-carve. Now, they're all got names on them, and they got a number at the beginning, and it kind of indicates which direction or what I want as far as the cutting goes. Probably I'd really want to put the coaster profile on the bottom, but it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. The next thing we got to do is save the toolpath. Few things in saving the toolpath that you want to be aware of. The first one is make sure you have the correct post processor for your particular machine. And come in here, it sets there, highlight the name, it brings it up here, it says number 2 coaster profile, it tells you that it's an end mill, and it's a 1/8 of an inch end mill. That's fine. Save the toolpath. And it's going to save the toolpath. Come in here to the next one, ball nose, 1/4 inch for our pocket, correct post processor, save the toolpath. And then the last one. Everything looks okay, save the toolpath. Now we should have 2 or 3 toolpaths for our machining. At this point in time, we're done with the designing process. We've already saved our toolpaths. We've already looked and seen how this is, so we're ready to go and do the machining now. So, and that's the next step. So thank you for watching. Our next episode is going to be machining and finishing. Thank you for watching.